loud this time. Okay. Welcome. Welcome. Let us do some breath work. Today, we're going to go over the most basic breath work nuts and bolts so that we all have a really nice foundation for the breath work. And then from that foundation, we can explore further. All right. So I'll go over what our patterns are so that we understand what's happening as I'm cueing and your eyes are closed. So we begin by grounding and connecting into the earth and also above into, we can say the ninth chakra or the great central sun, or beyond the veil. We could also say the Eagle Nebula. That's one that's worked very well for me in the past as a place to connect where there's the infinite potential, where stars are born. So we have a nice deep anchor into the earth and into that highest self aspect. And then we can really sense there's a conduit or a channel of energy that runs between those spaces. And that conduit, we can grow. We can grow it in its, in the space that it contains, and also how much energy is moving through it. And we'll use our breath work and create more energy running through the body, running from heaven to earth and earth to heaven, as well as bringing more energy up from the earth and bringing it down from the heavens. So we'll have our hands as we begin. We have our hands down with the bones pointing towards the earth. So here's two hand motions that you can see where the thumbs are pointing down, the index fingers pointing down, or here, or you can find something somewhere in that space where you have the, you never think, oh, I'm gonna have my butt facing the video. Sorry. And then above, similarly, when we're connecting above, we have our hands up. You can use the hands like this. You could go like this. You could go like this. And you can also, please listen to your body. You can use a lower movement. So I'll tend to do something like this, where I have my hands above in this form. But again, choose what aligns with your body's way. Listen to your body. What does your body need? And so that's the way that we'll hold the hands when we're in our active phase of the breath work, which is going to be the breath of fire. So we'll start with that. Now with the breath of fire, this breath of fire is, the purpose isn't athletic, but it's rather to intentionally build a fire in the belly. So we're building that fire and we're stoking it with our breath. So we want to bring the breath in and use the belly. So the belly comes in and out, and we bring it in and out through the nose. So like you're blowing out a candle. So that I'm bringing in my abdominal muscles and hugging, and then in, out, just releasing. In is the intention with the belly, and out with the nose. So it's we're really more focused in that exhale. And then we want to be really aware of what is aligned with my body's way. Not how fast can I do it. We want to stay present with the breath. And so what can happen if we're more concerned about how fast it is before we've really learned to get it down into the belly is that it can raise up into the chest. And then it's more like a hyperventilating or some, it's not the intention we're going for. We're going for building the fire in the belly. Okay. So we'll build that fire, and I'll cue and remind you of what the intention is and how we're moving that with our bodies. We'll also carry an intention, which I'll remind you of as well. And so we do that. I would say it's approximately a minute. I'm not timing it. I'll just time it through my guidance, which seems to work fine. And it's always working well for me. So we'll do the breath of fire, and then I'll cue you to exhale. And when you exhale, go ahead and really just relax for a second there. You're going to go, and then a deep cleansing breath, and allow that cleansing breath to really come all the way in. I'm clearing out. And then it's 3 breaths as one. And then at that 3 breaths as one, we're going to hold the breath, and we're going to begin to pulse the perineum. So the Kegel muscles, we're going to pulse that. Energy will be coming either up from the earth and filling while we're holding our breath, or it will also be pulling down. And of course, I will be cueing you as to what we're doing in that phase of our breath work, our active breath work. So when you're pulsing, you're pulling and allowing the energy to fill up the container. This is the container. And when you're pulsing down, you're letting it spill down. Okay. So that is building this alchemized energy of heaven and earth in our bodies and in our fields. Then there will be, between the time that we bring the energy up from the earth and you bring it down, after we bring it up from the earth, I'll just cue you to pause and really sense. So there's some sensory awareness of what you're experiencing. Okay. And then oftentimes when we move from this above to the lower placement, I use that time to give my body a little stretch. Sometimes my neck wants some movement, my shoulders, my arms, my spine. Sometimes the legs are going to be wanting a little movement. So you'll have a little moment to adjust your body, and then we'll come back. We're going to use 3 rounds, and each round is comprising of the lower and the upper. Okay. And then one more piece that I'd like to bring to your attention is today I'm choosing to be in this chair. And I've noticed that some of you do like to be in a chair, but I have this zafu or cushion in the chair so that I'm a little higher. I kind of chose it because of how I set this camera and the computer up, but so it has me a little higher than the chair so that when I bring my hands behind, I have some space for them. So most of the time I do it on the floor, but I will say that can put your legs to sleep it depends if you're used to it or not. So what I would say about that is it's really nice if you can even maybe stack 2 pillows on the floor if you're sitting so that your hips are higher than your knees. And that's going to give you a better physical position. And then I'd like to also bring to your attention that throughout, it's always in alignment with your body's way. If you notice that while you're doing the breath of fire, you start to feel a little dizzy or woozy, slow it down. If you're pulsing and holding your breath, and you can do a few pulses, and then you feel like you need to release your breath, you can go ahead and release and then hold and pulse again. And you'll notice that as I'm cueing, that's what I do. I cue it and I do the breath and then I speak. And so then when I'm actually pulsing with you, I do the breath again. So feel free to do that. One of the people that was in a lot of the medicine wheel classes that I was assisting in, it was like 5 seconds and he had to release it and then he would bring it in. So I know that we're all a little different in that way. And I tend to like a long pulse and a shorter breath of fire. Again, this is something that you can kind of play around with, what's right for you. Really trust and align with your body's wisdom. Okay. So another piece that I find to be really valuable in the breath work is to have an intention or focus. In fact, really in everything. I find it to be a wonderful way to remind yourself where you're going. And it's very helpful. So I have some beautiful cards that I've laid out in front of me to show you. These are the ones that I've been using the most lately, and they're great. But any cards that you feel drawn to. So for me, I like at least 15 decks of cards. And so I tend to like carry around 2 or 3 decks and choose from those. And then when they need to be changed out, I get different decks from my suitcase of decks. So I'm going to lay them out and I usually like to lay them out face down and then there's a question, So when we're choosing a card, we can see this card as like a mirror. And I would like you to notice more the imagery than the words. The imagery is holding a reflection for you and giving you some information. It's like we have these blind spots, right? And then the blind spots we can see maybe by looking at another person and how they're living their life, or someone close to you, your sister or your brother or something. But we can also take it into a different into the object, and the object today being your card. And so let's just take a moment and choose a card that will give us a nice reflection and give us some direction for where we want to place our awareness in this breath work today. So now I've set the intention for what I want to pull. And now I'm going to ask which card it is. And I've got my card. Please don't overthink it, okay? And so, someone who's in the breath work is you see it? No, it says dawn. It says dawn. Dawn is my intention. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at this card and I'm going to ask myself, and it's a beautiful card. Oh, Can't really see it, sorry. It's for me anyway. So now I want to look at this card and I want to ask a couple questions, and these questions are going to assist me in getting clear. Now, first I'm looking and I'm seeing what the image is showing me. And then I'm going to say, how is this showing up in my physical, literal world? And we can even imagine we're looking through our first chakra. Like, how does this show up in my physical world? And I'm seeing something. And please don't overthink it. Like, whatever just comes up is you're just gathering information. It's called tracking. We're tracking. And then that's like, and then how does this show up in my mental, emotional world? You could imagine you're seeing through your second chakra. And then there's this, it could be a feeling, a sensation, it could be a story, an image. And then it's like, let it go. And then how does this card reflect my soul's journey? And I want you to look through your third eye, okay? Ooh. And then, right? Let it go. And then we're going to imagine we're seeing from the highest heights, the eagle flying high, high above. What are the energetics of this card showing me? And just let it be simple, let it be quick. And then we're going to take one more gaze and we're going to say, what is my intention for today reflected in this card? Take what you get, stay really present with what you get, and not overthinking. That's not what this is about at all. So I got something, feels good. All right. I like to set the card where I can see it. So I peek at it, and I'll invite you to do that too. And you don't have to, it's just an option. I'm just throwing it out there. There's one piece that we're going to do after we do our active breathwork phase. And that is we're going to open our Viracocha. So it's called a Viracocha, but it's also the eighth chakra. So hands distance above the head, there's this right here. There's this eighth chakra, the source of the sacred. And you're going to reach your hands into that and pull it down as a cocoon of light. So I want you to practice that and just sense what it feels like as you pull that around you. Now, this is a tool you can use at any time. You can have your eyes open. You can use this source of the sacred to create this sacred space. I did create a sacred space by calling in the directions before our call, but that's not required. Bringing it up, close that for now, and bring the energy down. We could do the breath work with the Viracocha open. We're just going to do it with it closed right now, okay? So you have your intention. If it doesn't feel simple, allow it to get simple. And also, no attachment to the intention. It could shift. I stay pretty present with my intentions, and I use intention, focus, and intent when I teach Nia. So I have a lot of practice using the focus and intent in many ways. What I've noticed in my breath work is that my intention, and sometimes it evolves as I'm doing the breath work through each round and I bring my awareness to it, it can change. And if it doesn't, that's totally fine. Okay. Any questions? Good. I can't really see you, but you look like you're good because you're shaking your head. Yes. And okay, good, good. All right. Of course, you can always email me if you have questions or text me, right? So don't feel like that's not. So let us begin the breath work. So really sensing for an open container, I'm going to cue that. And I want to let you know that I talked about the way that you could sit, you can stand. You can stand, right? Your body's way, please, please. Such a good practice in life. So right now, I have my hands behind me, connecting down into the earth. I like to do the breath work with my eyes closed. I might peek and just look out, make sure that everything is in order. But it's something that we do with our eyes closed. It's a meditation. This is a meditation. So a nice deep breath into the body. An intention to be super present. And then what is your intention? Just hold that for a second. Now I'm going to guide you with this next breath to take your roots, your conduit, your cord down into the earth. Okay. Sending that energy down into the earth. And let's find that place in the earth where we want to source from today. There's all these elements. We can go deep. We can go through the soil and the rocks. There's sand here. There's water. Go deeper into that hard crystalline layer. We can go even deeper into the belly, all the way deep into the belly of the earth, to the Pachamama. And just feel yourself anchoring in. I really like to go all the way down, but wherever you feel, sometimes you're going to feel that the earth is calling you to a specific strata, and go with it. Trust whatever feels right for you. Okay. And then just bringing your awareness through that conduit, and realize you're also bringing your anchor all the way up through the crown, through the 8th chakra, all the way up to the 9th chakra, or wherever you feel called to anchor. It could be one of our luminaries, the sun or the moon. As I mentioned before, the Eagle Nebula, the Great Central Sun. But essentially, it's your highest self. Okay. Sourcing from that highest, most luminous aspect of you. So let's bring our awareness back down into the earth. We're anchored in. Feel that. Feel how you're anchored in, and there's an energy conduit running through the center of your being. And then we're going to take a nice deep breath into the belly and begin the breath of fire. We're using this first round to burn away any sludge, any density that's gotten built up in our field. And we're stoking the fire with our breath of fire. So it's down in the belly, building a fire. You can use imagery, sensation, just the thought, however it comes to you. Really focusing on that out breath where you're blowing out the candle with your nose. And keeping that breath down deeper into the belly, below the rib cage. staying aligned with your body's way. And release. Take a nice deep cleansing breath. And then those 3 breaths as one. Hold the breath and pulse the perineum. And as you pulse that perineum, sense that you're drawing energy up from the earth, the energy of the earth, all the elements, the soil, the sand, the water, the rocks, the fire. Let that energy come up and fill your container. Just fill you, fill your field. Remember pulsing the perineum rather than the anus, which is just doing your best. And release. You can always release when you're ready. Bring your hands to your lap and just open your hands and sense. Really sense, notice. Maybe you have some imagery. Or feeling. I really notice in this first piece that an incredible stillness comes in. And then again, the container of your body, you're opening it. And if it's not comfortable for you to bring your hands above, really sense that you're opening the container and you're using the direction of your bones as the direction of your energy. So let's just take a moment to consider our intention. And then we're going to follow the anchor. We're going to follow the conduit all the way up. Really sensing yourself as anchored into that luminous, infinite potential, the heavens, a broad term for everything that we feel in that space of unconditional love, acceptance, infinite possibilities, creative source, the light. Just feeling that connection, that awareness. And then we're going to, with the hands above or in a way that point towards that aspect, deep breath into the belly and begin that breath of fire. Building the fire. Listening to your body, staying aligned with your body's way. We build the fire that clears out the sludge. It's like drying out the wet wood. You know, when you build that fire, there's that smoke. There's things that need to be cleared off first before it really gets going. That's what we're doing here. And release. Deep cleansing breath. 3 breaths as one. Hold the breath and pulse the perineum and draw down from that space of infinite potential, light, love, drawing that creative source energy down, bringing it into your seventh chakra, your sixth, and so on and so forth, just allowing it to cascade down. And release. Body check-in, slowly bringing the hands back, connecting behind, sensing that container, noticing your spine. We want a nice open container to really start to stoke the fire. We got the wood all dried out. We want to start to build that fire and get some heat going. Let's take a moment and just pause with your intention. And then take a nice deep breath into the belly, really connected to the earth, connected to the earth. And begin your breath of fire. Listen to your body. Do that breath of fire in your body's way, staying connected to your body's way. Stoking the fire up, getting that heat going, creating more alchemy with the energy of the earth, feeding that fire. Building the heat, building the flames. And release. Relax. Deep cleansing breath. Three breaths as one. Hold the breath and pulse the energy up from the earth, bringing it up into that first chakra, second chakra, and so on. Filling your container with that energy of the earth, the richness, the nurturing, the life force. And release. Remember, you can release when you're ready, and you can do a second round of pulling that 3 breaths in as one. Staying present here. Feel the energy, the alchemy of heaven and earth in your field and your body. Mm. You sense it all around you. However you bring the information in, you can see, hear, know. There's a shift. If you wanted to, now would be a good time to take a peek at your card and just connect again with your intention. Maybe there's a little bit of shifting with it. Maybe there's more awareness. Whatever it is, maybe it's exactly the same. And then bringing those arms up in the way that fits for your body, connecting with your awareness to the energy above, to that infinite source. Take a nice deep breath into your belly and begin that breath of fire. Let it be low, below your rib cage, and find that pace where the breath is breathing you. Really sensing that the exhale is where your awareness is and that your breath is down in the belly. You get that fire going. It's really raging in there, so getting it more and more heat, more and more flame. And if it's not raging, that's fine too. Just start to really build that fire up. Staying with your body. And release. Take a nice deep cleansing breath. Here's your 3 breaths as one. And as you pulse your perineum, holding your breath, drawing down from the light, drawing down from the wisdom, creative source energy, that luminosity, filling, and spilling over. Just filling your whole container with all that energy of creative source, of infinite possibilities and potentials of love and of light. and release. Body check-in. Sensing shoulders, spine, neck, hips. And we're going to begin this final round. It's like we're going to put some really nice dry wood on that fire and build. Sense yourself connected deep within the earth, in that space where you're sourcing up from the connection with Pachamama, life giver. Feel your intention with you, guiding you, giving you a place to put that mind if it wants to wander. Let it wander into the intention. Let it wander into the heat of the fire. Deep breath into the belly and begin your breath of fire. Really stoke that fire. Stoke it so that it's a very alchemizing energy within you. Build that fire with the elements of the earth and let it be hot. And we're building the intensity. And we release. Relax. Deep cleansing breath. Those 3 breaths as one. Holding the breath and pulsing the perineum, drawing up from the earth that energy, that nurturing, that dark, rich soil. Bringing up the alchemy of the fire deep within the earth. The metals, the stones, the crystals, and the waters. Not meant to dampen, just pulling that energy up and letting it rise up into your container, moving up, can move up, all the way through the conduit. Release. Bring your hands to your lap or somewhere that feels comfortable and witness, observe. Sensing that alchemy in your body, in your field. Bring your intention into the fold. And then let's go ahead and complete with this final round, bringing the hands above into that body aligned way. It can be athletic. We want it to feel good still, even if it's a little challenging. It's not painful. Connecting above with our awareness into that anchor point in the ninth chakra, to our wisest, deepest, most loving self. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly and begin your breath of fire. Letting that breath really stoke the fire within. You can feel the intensity increasing. Fire is extremely alchemizing. The breath and the fire, they transform the energy. So just building with more intensity, staying connected to your body and your body's way. Pushing a little. And release. Nice deep cleansing breath. 3 breaths as 1. Hold the breath and pulse the perineum to draw down all that light, all that love, all those infinite possibilities, the alchemy of your highest self, your wisest self, bringing it in. Let it move through the whole conduit and go all the way down into the earth, if that's where it wants to go. Drawing that energy down, down, down. Letting it rain down. Pulse it down. And release. Leaving the hands above for a moment. We're going to sense for that 8th chakra, the Viracocha. Put our hands on that 8th chakra below it. And then we're going to reach our hands inside and pull that cocoon of light down around us. And just let yourself be in this sacred, sacred space. Sense it. You can use your mind's eye to see that cocoon of light all around you. Maybe you feel it, sense it, notice it, and how you notice it. If you notice there seems to be an area of your cocoon that needs more strands, needs to be woven, use your intention to weave that field stronger. You can use your hands. You can use your mind's eye. If that's the case, go ahead and strengthen it. Within this field that we've built, very nurturing and strengthening energy. Very luminous, life-giving, loving energy here. Just allow yourself to feel it, sense it, know it, all around you. And then inviting every cell of your being, of your body, to drink of this mixture of heaven and earth. Drink of this nourishment. It builds the chi in your body. Just drink it up. You can just see your cells drinking in that vitality, that nourishment, building luminosity, building potential for healing, well-being, alignment, balance. And then saying, thank you. Thank you, cells, for drinking this. Thank you, thank you. Now we're going to bring our awareness to our first chakra at the root. And we're going to welcome our first chakra to drink of this mixture. Drink, drink. And as our first chakras drink up, receive this alchemized energy, you become more luminous. Feel that light, that red light, glowing brightly. Just let the energy move through that first chakra. Let the first chakra take it where it needs to go. Clearing out anything in that first chakra that needs to be cleared, and letting it, really intending that your first chakra is in balance and harmony. Thank you, thank you. And now welcoming that second chakra between the navel and the pubic bone. Drink, drink, drink up this mixture. Drink it up. And feel that the energy, the luminosity, that the rainbow of our chakras. This is the orange chakra. Just let it become clear and bright. Let that second chakra take this energy to wherever it needs to go. And then intend that that second chakra is in balance and harmony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Second chakra. And then the third chakra at the solar plexus. Invite this third chakra to drink. Drink deeply of this mixture of heaven and earth. And that luminous quality that this third chakra holds, the yellow light, let it drink up and become clear and bright. Sending the energy where it needs to go. Strengthening the third chakra. And ask that that third chakra is in balance and harmony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Third chakra. And then sensing, the fourth chakra, you can feel it's like they become more ready. They're like, oh, it's my turn. And the fourth chakra be opened and drink. Welcoming, drinking up this mixture, strengthening the chi in your body and your field. The luminous quality of the fourth chakra. Be the green. Some people say that they really sense their fourth chakra as having a pink quality. Drink up. become brighter, clearer. Let that fourth chakra take this energy wherever it needs to go. Let the nerve plexus draw the energy where it needs to go. Your being. And ask that that fourth chakra is in balance and harmony. Thanking the fourth chakra. And now the fifth chakra at the throat, the base of the throat. Drink up. Drink this mixture of heaven and earth. Feel its, see through the mind's eye that luminous quality of blue light, brightening, permeating the areas that the fifth chakra is connected to. Bringing in that energy, nourishing your fifth chakra, and then let that fifth chakra come into balance and harmony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now your sixth chakra, the third eye, opening to drink and drink. Feel it nourishing all of the places the sixth chakra is connected to. Sense that luminous quality, the violet light. No indigo. It's not much difference. Feel the indigo light of this. Yeah. Bright and clear. And then ask that sixth chakra to come in balance and harmony. Thank you, sixth chakra. Thank you, thank you. And now the seventh chakra at the crown of the head, opening to receive, to drink deeply. All the ways and seventh chakra connects into the bodies and the pituitary, sending pulses out through the body. Let that seventh chakra strengthen, illuminate that violet light. Strong. Strong and beautiful. And then letting that, asking that seventh chakra to be in balance and harmony. Come into balance and harmony. And then sensing through the conduit in the center of your being, the center of your toric field, the energy of that rainbow of light coming up and out of your crown and spilling around you and up through your root and around. And just feel that toric field around you, the rainbow of your being, clear and bright, your field strong. From this place, sensing your intention, and then when you're ready, opening your eyes, and then you can gently close your eighth chakra, reaching down under and pulling up that cocoon of light right up into the eighth chakra. And pause for a moment with that when you bring it up. And then pull down the strands, the new and form. It's like Each time we do this work, we've alchemically shifted, bringing more light and more nourishment from the earth into our beings, and then just touching, connecting. And then I'm going to invite you to choose another card and allow this card to be a reflection of what's shifted. Receive that. Receive the image and any aspect of it that is informing you. There's a physical, literal card. There's the feelings and the emotions. There's the journey of the card. And there's the energetics of the card. I'll share with you. And I like to really look at them. This one, I know you can't really see it as well as it's quite beautiful. And this change. Thank you for joining. I'm going to turn the recording off now so we can share privately. Thank you. I just want to thank you for joining me in this breath work and also encourage you to journal any insights or wisdom that has come from within you during this process. And know that you can use this with an intention that you're holding for yourself or to move energy that's in your body, that's in your mind, that's in your emotions, that needs to be integrated or anchored. And please feel free to email me or call or text, however we communicate, to reach out and let me know if there's something that's unclear for you or if there's something that you need to share. I invite your comments, your feedback, or if you have a need to express something that's come up for you, feel free. Much love and gratitude, and I'm wishing you the most beautiful day. Thank you.